Hi there, I'm Michelle, and I'd like to welcome you back to our Caboodles 1 coloring class. If you were with us in our last video, we did basic hair, and that was at the top of our coloring class 1 basic hair sheet. In this session, we are going to do the second combination of hair colors, and we're going to be doing that with a different technique, so stay tuned. Okay, for this technique, I'm going to be using for Grandpa's hair, I'm going to be using my toner gray tones, my toner colors, which are T2, T5, and T7. And I'm actually going to start with my T7, which is my darkest color. Now remember how I had mentioned in our last video, typically when I work on hair, my image I'm constantly keeping moving around. And this is one of those images when I'm working on hair. I usually start here and pull down this way. In this video, I'm going to just be keeping the image stationary, so hopefully it stays nice and clear for you. And again, I'm going to start with T7, which is my darkest color, and I'm just going to begin gently flicking that into the image. Maybe use some little dots up here. Okay, now I'm going to go to my medium color, which is T5. I'm going to go over my T7 and then extend into the white area of the image. It's kind of a learning curve for me doing his hair this way because I usually have him upside down. But that's okay because with the Copics there's a learning curve anyway. Okay, now on his little hairline up here, I'm just going to dot in some of this. Okay, I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. Then I'm going to go to my T2, and I'm just going to start at the bottom, the base. Now, if I wanted to, I could just go ahead and fill the area in like that, or I could fill it in this way, and even leave some little areas with some whiter highlights if I like. Comes down to personal preference. Now remember, this is a light color, so it's going to fade my darker colors. It's going to take the color and remove the intensity of some of those colors. So I may need to touch back up with those. Or if I want to soften any of those colors, I can just drop this color right on. Now I might like to go back with my mid-tone, which is T5, and don't forget to use your chisel tip when doing work also. Now I know some of our angels I've seen in class who get just a gorgeous fine line. They have very gentle hands though, and mine's not that gentle, so I don't necessarily get that same fine line. But again, it's a tool that you have at your disposal, so I want to encourage you to remember that you've got this chisel tip because you can get some really great results with it also. So our basic gray tone hair. Now we're going to move on to our little boy. Okay, and I'm going to be using my E21, E13, and E15. I'm going to start with my darkest color, which is E15, and I'm basically going to do the exact same thing I did on Grandpa. Although, see, I'm kind of feathering that up a little more. Trying to keep a very light hand so I can get some fine little hairs in there. Okay, I'm going to start now. I'm going to cover up my E15 and continue adding in. One of the reasons I like using my darker tones first and then coming back with my lighter tones is because when you use your lighter tones so much, you blend and you go over constantly with your lighter tones, you use more ink. And I don't use as much of my light colors, I don't use as much ink when I work backwards, starting with my darker color and going towards my lightest. And I definitely like conserving my ink. So this is E21 that I'm dropping in now, and it's my lightest color. And you can just work that until you're happy. I love this color with it. It's just adding just a gorgeous warm tone. And if you remember, this is the color combination that we used for one of our basic skin tones. It's one of my favorite. Okay. I think that looks great. So there you have it. Another basic hair combination. I hope you enjoy.